Good morning, everybody. I am Carolyn, and I'm with Midwest Manufacturers, and we're happy you could join us today for our workforce development webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about navigating sales leadership transition, and we have our webinar host, Linda Mathiasen from Okapi Strategy. But first, we would like to have a word from our sponsor, Falcon Bank. Brandon, go ahead.
Oh, hello. Thanks, Carolyn. Thanks for having me. My name is Brandon Voigt. I'm the market president with Falcon National Bank out of St. Cloud here. And again, always a pleasure to be able to partner with the MMA. It's organizations like this that are so vital for our small businesses, our manufacturers, and of course, not even just the manufacturers, but their strategic partners as well. So to be able to have webinars put on, right, the seminars and all the events they do throughout the year, it's always a pleasure to be able to hop in and help out where we can and sponsor events like this. So again, thanks for having me on, and I'm going to turn it over to our presenter, Linda, and learn about some things.
Great. Thank you, Brandon. Good morning. We're on Navigating Leadership Transitions. Thank you for joining today. Our session is about preparing for the upcoming retirement of a longstanding top sales team member. I encourage you and invite you to use the chat to put questions in there. Feel free to put your email in there if you'd like more information at some time. And I also, on your taskbar, if you wanted to share engagements and reactions, that helps me to keep this moving and understand where you're coming from. So again, thank you, and thank you for MMA for hosting me this morning. Let's get started. A little bit about myself. I've been self-employed since 2005. I'm a business and communication strategist. What is that? I help improve performance where it matters most, your people. I close the communication gaps. I spot inconsistencies and operational bottlenecks. And truly, I'm looking for quick wins to help you. And today it's about navigating leadership transitions. And so we'll get started. When someone retires, we risk losing more than just a person. We risk losing insight, trust, and revenue. So for our presentation, I always like, what's in it for me? And, you know, what with a reality check. So what are most CEOs and senior leadership thinking? This is new information coming right from Harvard Business Review. If you agree or disagree, I invite you to do a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or again, use your reactions in the Zoom bar. Succession planning could result in 20 to 25% higher company valuations and investor returns per Harvard Business Review. It was just published this month. And so can we actually put a dollar value to losing a valued sales team leader? We can. 13 to 17% drop in customer revenue is what the AMA's Journal in Marketing quotes. And also we're still looking at 2019, you know, before COVID and the pandemic, but a Gallup study said a 100-person organization that provides an average salary of $50,000 to their employees could have a turnover and replacement cost of approximately $660,000. And it can triple depending on how important that senior leader is to your organization. And so another 75% of leaders, and you may be one of them, feel free to raise your hand, use your engagement, but prioritize promoting employees from leadership roles from within. And so when you see someone that's on the verge of exiting, I had one client who says, I stay up all night, Linda, thinking about all my pending retirements and what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So if you feel that this is what your answer is, I do want to give you a word of caution, is that less than 20% of HR officers really truly believe that the organization is ready to fill these critical roles. Is this you? So succession planning, do my slides keep up? Sorry. Succession planning, it is crucial. We need to be an effective succession planning plan, and it takes time. Depending on how long your seasoned leadership has been around, how long they've been in the sales process, We need to understand that. And it's crucial to do this. We need a strategic process of identifying and developing employees to fill key leaderships when they become vacant. Sorry. Why does it matter for manufacturing? It actually matters more, I believe, to you. Manufacturing sales relationships are vital for long-term client retention and operational success. They have the technical expertise, again, that insight. They know your buyers, they know their needs, they know their purchasing cycles. Salespeople often have relationships that span 10 to 20 years, and they really are truly a trusted advisor to your customer base. And their loss isn't just a loss to your business, it could potentially be a loss to their business. A smooth sales transition is critical to operations and overall, again, getting to your bottom line, to your revenue. So our agenda today, we're going to be looking at 3 things. Understand your current sales relationships. How can you do that as a CEO? Determine quality of customer data. Just a quick few wins on how you can assess where is my customer data and what is the quality of that data. And lastly, develop supporting marketing activities. I have a marketing and communications background, but I also have business development. And I really don't think you can separate those 2 functions. And that's why I'm a consultant, because I want to be able to plug and play in both of those spaces. Communication breakdowns. An effective sales transition starts with surfacing internal misalignments. Again, getting your people and your process and your purpose in a line. And those misalignments are almost always communication driven. Leadership transitions are pivotal moments in your organizations. These shifts influence both your internal dynamics and everything going on outside of your company that you rely on. That includes stakeholder perceptions of you and your business, that retiring sales leader, and anyone who's coming in new to fill that gap. We want to be proactive and unified in communication, and having a strategy is essential. So for our presentation today, to keep it simple, I have a Lean Six Sigma background, and so I'm all about visual, right? I want a framework. I want to be able to put this into various pieces. And so you can see the quadrants there, but the reason why it's interconnected, it's your customer, your company, your competition, and your community. So for this session, we're really looking at the 4C framework, and that's going to guide us for the next few moments. We want to understand the dynamic of these, and that will help us tailor our approach so it's thoughtful, smooth, and a successful transition for you. All 4 of these influence each other continuously. We really can't separate ourselves, but at times and at moments, we do need to step and set aside time to really dig in to these 4 C's. I like using this simple framework because it's the importance of retaining your institutional knowledge. So that'd be key number 1, right? The retainer exiting salesperson is a strong part of your company's story of where you've been, how you got here, but we also have to leverage it to make sure you have a strong future without them. We want to capture that knowledge and leverage it depending on your unique company needs. To do this, we need to understand your customer. With a retiring sales leader, we can assume this person understands your customer's needs, market dynamics in your business, as well as your customer's business. Specialty features, delivery demands, what are they asking of us? What do we need to do that might be special or different for this particular customer? And effective go-to marketing strategies. We want to know that because more than likely, it's not transactional. They are tasked with more than just taking orders. So I ask you, and you can put a reaction in the chat, or you can put thumbs up, thumbs down, but are you up to speed with the sales process? When was the last time that you were thoroughly involved and walked alongside your lead salesperson? If not marketing activities, there's different options, but if you haven't done a voice of the customer or a customer journey, I love the thumbs up. Thank you. are just two ways to understand what it's like to do business with your company and what's important for continued customer relationships. If not, uncertainty happens. We don't want to let the customer insight leak too. Some customers use a change in that relationship to look for others, to shop around, to check out your competition. It's been a while, let's do it. No, let's be proactive and thoughtful during this time. We want to get ahead of this. A change in sales contact often triggers customer uncertainty, making it a prime moment for competitors to sneak in. So let's talk about your company next. What are your internal company capabilities? Has something to think about and self-reflect about? Has your retiring sales leader kept up with the times? Are their selling strategies and their techniques aligned with modern buying behaviors? I remember when orders used to come through the fax machine, when orders were written on napkins. I was just in a conversation not less than 2 months ago. They're like, yeah, we just took all of our notes and we took the order on a napkin. I'm like, that still happens. Have they embraced digital tools, the data-driven decision-making? How can you meet the evolving customer expectations? And that might be the scariest question for you as a CEO. Is your sales and business development truly relevant in today's market? How do we know what's going on inside of our company to support those outside functions? We can look at our sales team structure. Sales is not a one-person job. Succession planning isn't just about replacing a person, but it's an evolving function. We want to take time to consider who's affected by the retiring sales leader. You can see in this chart, this is a large manufacturing organization. It may not look like yours, but there's a lot of people involved. Or maybe your seasoned sales team lead is your only salesperson, and they're doing all of this, right? Rightfully so, there's other people coming involved, but they're used to just being told what to do, and they know what to do their part, just their piece of the pie. We want to take time to consider who is affected. This is an opportunity to reevaluate roles and look for efficiencies. Absolutely. Depending on the size of your company, you may have department leads, but we want to know what those performance metrics are to make sure for continuity of business and revenue streams. Another way to look at what's going on within your company is this, right? What is the process from discovery after delivery? That's why follow-up is on there. I'm a marketer. What are we doing to thank them for the sale? What are we doing for customer satisfaction? Was your sales leader involved in all of these points? Let's be honest. A manufacturing salesman doesn't just sell. They know how to manage. They know how to navigate internal relationships, just as important as all of those external customer and client relationships. They help you forecast. They often carry some deep technical historical knowledge, especially if they've been with you the whole time that you've been in business. Switching gears, we're looking at your competition. When was the last time you talked market dynamics with your sales team leader? This is the third C, your competition. A new sales leader must grasp those market dynamics right away and how you in the past effectively navigated and positioned yourself with your product, your service, your price. With the existing sales leader, we need to understand your competitors from their perspective. Ask them so we can adjust our sales strategy. We can talk about our messaging, and we can target our focus. We want to capitalize on opportunities and reduce and eliminate uncertainty in the marketplace. What are those moving metrics that are most important and critical to us? Tapping in the knowledge of your current sales leader before they leave will build resilience against your competition, and they'll give you time to adjust. I've been part of too many campaigns of sending a postcard or sending a letter and just saying, hey, thank you so much, you're invited. Say thank you. I want you to really be thoughtful and have a plan and take the time and preparation to ensure that your sales team is focused on the right targets with the right message, avoiding wasted effort and missed opportunities. Which brings the last one, and I think this one's often overlooked. I'm a rural gal. I love rural, but our community is so important to us. Understand the context of business and your local dynamics, right? That's our last C. Is this your local community? Where has this seasoned leader been? What are they involved in? Questions you may want to consider is, will you lose company visibility? And what has that company visibility through this one person brought or given to you? Is a salesperson highly influential among industry partners? In manufacturing, our industry partners are so important. They are critical, whether it's raw materials, transportation and logistics, or regulations and policy making. We need to know, how has that salesperson interacted? And manufacturing is also different because your salespeople might hold the relationships with your vendors. And what does that look like? If you're building OEMs, what does that look like? Who in your company can backfill? And what do you want it to look like? We can talk about resources and what it's going to cost us. But if we don't start having this conversation about the 4 C's, we miss out on all of this preparation and thoughtful consideration. So again, just a visual way to look at the influence, the interconnectivity. They are continuously influencing each other. There's a bound to be communication breakdowns during this transition. And you might feel like you're spinning plates, and that's okay. My question is for you, do you need to step into any one of these 4 C's? And how would you prioritize that? And what would it look like? That's the question. We need to know where your sales leader has been and where we as a company need to go without them. So our next stage, any questions on the previous part? Okay, you can put them in the chat. If my speed is my speed good? Excellent. All right. So CRM, customer relationship management. And I know this looks like all things, right? It could be Word documents, Excel. It could be transportation, delivery, logistic records. It could be something as robust as Salesforce. What are you using to keep track of your customers and your contact data? So whatever you're using for your CRM, manufacturers have multi-year relationships with their reps, not just transactional ones, as we've mentioned. Without a thoughtful handover, these clients may feel neglected. And again, start exploring competitors. So what can we do about it? How can we avoid that? There's 2 major pitfalls that I just want to bring forward. Long-time sales may see your CRM, their customer relationship management, as their client files, as their own notes. This is my information. It's helpful to me. They've never really thought about the importance of sharing it with someone else. Using your reaction or taskbar, you can talk about what is your confidence or thumbs up, thumbs down about the confidence in your CRM. But we want to ensure that you have not only the company contact for your clients before your salesperson leaves you, but who truly is the decision maker. It may not be the person on the invoice. We want to know that, right? And we want to know that it's the right person, not just the one that places the order, because it's going to affect us. Your confidence in your order history and using your CRM to set metrics also helps you predict trends in the future. And you're probably very aware of this part of your business. But today it's all about looking at it through the lens of that retiring salesperson. And how are you relying or just become accustomed to having access to this information, or going right to their desk, or picking them, talking to them at the latest conference, convention, or calling them on the phone, sending them a quick text and saying, hey, can you tell me more about this? Or what happened here? We want to make sure we have the information. If you have just customer notes, one of the things that I recently saw is with the introduction of AI, it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. It can do many things for us if we know how to use it well. But one example is taking all your customer notes and putting it into the AI and having them summarize and look for patterns. I was just reading about how a company imported all the handwritten notes and they were able to turn it into truly a sales playbook. So find out what you need to have access to and how you can access it. Another pitfall is a seasoned salesperson may not realize, unless they are reminded, that they act as a bridge between the factory floor, estimating and engineering, or whatever is happening in the office outside of the shop floor, and the customer. Without dedicating time for the existing sales leader to document and share, you may lose custom build information, unique pricing agreements, and other nuances that appear in negotiated contracts that you need more knowledge. Retiring reps know the rationale behind these agreements. Capturing this insight and knowledge is powerful. And one of them is not just for you and your business, but it's also for you to tee up the success of that incoming new salesperson. This is institutional knowledge that needs to be gleaned. It is gold. I draw a quote from my mother: I am going willingly or unwillingly. Gleaning information is a skill. It takes a dedicated resource with a knack for building rapport, obtaining the details, and being able to prioritize that data. This needs to be done prior to the sales leader retirement or exit. You'll want to develop a sales exit transition plan with customer relationship and targeted marketing activities. And if you don't do it before they leave, it's going to be very difficult to recreate once they've left the organization. So with marketing, we're switching gears here. But now that I have your attention about how important it is to glean that information, what do you do with it, right? And how do you glean quickly? Because if you have a person that's already on the docket, ready to leave, what's going to happen? What can we do? So now I'm going to switch into marketing activities here. And just again, a high level kind of quick run through of some best practice and tips that I highly recommend for you to consider. As you're retiring, our existing sales leader has customer data updated. You have the decision makers, I already mentioned it, but again, is it accurate? Is it updated? Is it the right person? And do you have more than just one contact? Do you have who makes the buying decisions? Who's in their logistic department? Who's in their AP, AR, whatever it may be? We want to make sure we have all that information gathered besides the person who is our key contact. The more information we have, the better we have about our contact data. All right. Allow time to resources to have a sales leader do warm introductions and handoffs. So once you have that contact data and you feel good about it, we want to have time for a warm introduction and handoffs. Don't forget about vendors, industry contacts, and strategic partners. Top lessons: ask the senior salesperson, invite them out for coffee, for dinner, ask them to just write down some notes, bullet points, whatever it may be, but what are their top lessons, best practices? Make sure they're documented. And this is more, having exit interviews are very helpful, but this is more than an HR function. This is a marketing function. This is a company strategy and visionary function. It helps you build the game plan and make even a new marketing strategy, because you don't know what you're going to hear when you actually take the time to listen to it in a very focused way. To me, documenting institutional knowledge is critical to a company's sustainability and your future growth. I want to know where you have been and what are the ideas and the opportunities we haven't even tapped into yet. And this is where I begin with clients, truly. Key customer data points explained, custom builds. I've talked a lot about that, but doing this internally is just as importantly as doing an internal handoff. So we talked about external handoff with customers, vendors, industry, community partners, but internally it's also very important. If you're not directly involved with customers, you'll want to ensure you have a time and a method to capture all of this information. Key responsibilities, I can leave you with 3 things. If you're in a smaller organization or a very tightly run company, you want to focus your efforts. And I recommend these 3. You can take a picture if you like. CRM contact data is updated. Send a personalized message from your desk, offering a direct line of contact during this transition when that salesperson is exiting and while the new one is being onboarded. Working with your marketing team or a communications consultant to drill into your stakeholders and develop an outreach plan with the whole key goal of strengthening your customer loyalty. Events. We are coming to the end of our time. And so it's party time, right? When you are facing a retiring sales leader, the work exceeds throwing a retirement party. This is an important recognition opportunity, but it's not to be overlooked. And here's some techniques and tools. If the sales transition strategy is executed well, the retirement announcement is more than a postcard, more than a letter of introduction again. It's an event, or it could be a series of thoughtful actions to connect with your decision makers, to reintroduce yourself to your customers and their key personnel. And maybe you want to set a one-on-one meeting to reestablish or reinforce a relationship with the company. Truly moving the customer relationship from your salesperson to a strategic partnership between companies. That is the goal, is to be able to move it from a person to a strategic partnership, and it's between companies. So any questions? We're coming up to the end. I just have a quick little recap and review. MMA did invite me to come back for a second session. So we can definitely go deeper if you like. Please follow up with Carolyn. But again, as you're facing a transition in your senior leadership, it's important to retain your institutional knowledge. It needs to be done through all 4 of these lenses. You'll want to be diligent working with your exiting sales leader so you understand your customers, you understand the condition of their desk. And what are those marketing communication strategies, and setting that personalized and timely message. What do you want that message to be? And how are you going to get it in the hands of your customers and future customers? Sometimes when people leave, new customers come to you because that person left, and that's a whole nother story, right? We want to be prepared for it. So again, what we can do is when we're navigating a sales leader transition, our goals is to capture the insight, to keep the trust, so we can continue to keep our revenue at the same pace and increase it. And that comes with team success. We want to capture that knowledge and leverage it. And it really depends on what your needs are. And so please let me know if you have any questions.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
What is a good timeline to notify customers of a rep change?
Oh, sure, Carolyn. 3 weeks gets you going. It depends on how much time you need, how many customers you need to contact, and how much work you've done in advance. If you've already prioritized your customers, there's a whole nother way to look at which customers are going to care the most. But 3 weeks, and you want to have more than one message. And so 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out, we need a plan. Thanks.
And also, what's the importance of a personalized message from the CEO?
One, it means you care. It's transparent. It's very timely. It shows that your history and that relationship that you've had, even though someone's leaving, you still hold it. It's very important to personalize that message, to understand their sales order history with your company and who's important in the decision making to continue to do business with you. Thanks. Is there any others? All right, well, hearing none, thank you for your time this morning. Thank you to MMA for hosting me, and for all of you just being proactive to attend this session. I wish you a positive handoff and you can place your name and email if you have any other further questions or would like more information. My contact information is there. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys, for attending. I will be sending out the video of this that we welcome you to share with your team. And as Linda said, we're going to add a part 2 of this to the end of September. So it'll be the last Wednesday in September. And I will also put that video out for everyone to watch and join in on the second part.
Enjoy your day. Thank you.
All right, thanks, everyone.